Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at Palladium. This was a request from one of the members and it seemed interesting to cover another one of the metals, not just silver and gold, and it's actually quite an interesting chart. We have two main scenarios, but the beautiful aspect, the fortunate aspect of this is that within both interpretations we are looking for the same outcome, We are looking to extend to new all-time highs, and we are looking even for an opportunity in this expectation, especially if it fulfills our preferred scenario. And if you want to be a part of this journey, I would encourage you to subscribe, as we will provide the levels to look for accumulation, especially the higher probability structures. We will highlight those when they will become available. So, in this overall structure, we are clearly not dealing with an impulse, that much is clear. Then we have the option of tracking really a larger ABC pattern, where this would have been a wave A up, this would have been a B wave down, and then we would be tracking a wave C in an ending diagonal, right? This would be a 1, 2, 3, and we would still be within the wave 3, and even after that, we would expect a wave 4 and a wave 5 before assuming such a structure would be complete. In this expectation, we would be in the very late stages of this wave 3, we would be looking to build the wave 5 of the wave C basically, and even this wave C is also developing within an ending diagonal in this scenario. In this case, we would be looking to really form just an ABC pattern to new all-time highs within a fifth wave before assuming a more substantial top to be in place within the wave 3. So this is one of the scenarios. We would have an area of support that would still have some room, but I wouldn't consider resets of this wave 4 necessary. In fact, I would prefer to extend directly within the wave 5. Then we have another scenario, and we mentioned two scenarios. We have the orange structure that would imply the wave A still had top tier, so we are still tracking an overall ABC pattern, but the wave B would have formed within a triangle, right? In this expectation, we would be tracking still a wave C within an ending diagonal, and then this would be building a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Does this have to build this structure exactly? No, in fact, I could be looking even for a leading diagonal to be building. This is an adjacent scenario, but then I wouldn't need to track the blue scenario at all because it would have an identical area of support. However, in this interpretation, I could be tracking an ending diagonal within the wave C in a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Within this structure, I would probably prefer a reset of this wave 4. I would probably like a larger wave 4 correction, but nonetheless, it is perfectly acceptable. Even like this, I would track internally within the wave 3 an A, B, C structure, and then we would have a similar area of support. We can even look at the overlap between those levels, extremely similar. Right, and that was the premise. That is why this structure, this chart is even interesting, is that within most scenarios we are looking at a very similar structure. And within all of these interpretations, I'm looking to build here an ABC pattern within a wave 5, within one structure or the other. Now, we don't need to keep any of these on the chart because what we will be tracking in the smaller time frame will apply to all likely interpretations for this entire movement. So, in the smaller time frame, I am looking at this to have been a wave 4 correction in what can quite clearly be tracked as an ABC pattern, and from this point I'm looking for the ABC structure to the upside. Of course, we want to start with some resistance levels and potentially a reset of this bottom in the current correction. In terms of resistance, we will be watching primarily up to the 78.6% retracement, and we can notice we have gotten here this rejection at the 61.8% retracement around the 2K level. So in yellow, we will have this potential reset resistance area in something like an A, B, C structure. And then in white, we will be tracking internally even a potential leading diagonal. So in this structure, once again, we are looking for a larger A, B, C pattern to be building within a wave 5 in any of these scenarios really. In this wave A, we could be building only a 3-wave pattern to the upside, but currently, in this structure, I'm only able to identify within each of these subwaves a three-wave pattern, right? Even here, a three-wave pattern. And that leads me to focus on the idea of a leading diagonal rather than even an ABC structure to be likely in this overall wave A. So I will be looking here at a leading diagonal in the wave A in a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. In this expectation, we would be building an initial 5-wave move to the upside. This allows us to look for a high probability area of support afterwards for the wave B. But until this is the case, we would actually still need to reverse from the wave 4 support zone and build a wave 5, thus completing a wave A, thus making a wave B in yellow extremely unlikely. So, in such a scenario, in such a structure, I would be watching the support levels between the 23.6% retracement, so $1,760 down to the 61.8% retracement down at $1,250. As long as this area of support is holding, we can still look for a reversal in a wave 5. Now, the wave 2 could have bottomed here or even here. It is a slightly lower low at this initial bottom, but yeah, with such a deep retracement, either option is viable really. And in terms of the count itself, we have a pretty apparent pattern. We have the possibility to track this as an ABC in a wave 1, we have an ABC, something like this in a wave 3. Could work out in either case really. And I wouldn't overthink it in the end. We have the area of support to track, we are looking for the 3-wave correction, and we see some interesting particularities within this structure. Firstly, we can see within this wave C a very deep retracement in wave 4. I highlight this because I have seen this earlier on this chart, and that was decades ago, but it is an aspect to consider that this chart likes to form deep corrections within waves 4. We are currently within a wave 4. Does this mean we need to expect a failure and to have a strong wick below the 61.8% retracement? Not necessarily, but it is something to watch out for, right? Then, from this wave 3 top, we are looking for the wave 4 to be in a 3-wave pattern, and in this structure, we can even identify here an initial 5-wave move to the downside. This leads me to quite safely track a zigzag correction, in which case we have a wave A down here, we have a wave B top here, and we are looking for the wave C. And in this wave C, of course, we would be looking for a 5-wave pattern, and I would be tracking this within an ending diagonal. In this structure, I would consider the wave 1 to have bottomed here, the wave 2 topped here, the wave 3 bottom here, and then we would likely have a top even within the wave 4 at this point, and the wave 5 would be already heading to new lows within an ABC pattern. In this expectation, we would need to check a few things first. Have we reached, for example, the ideal target for the wave 3? And yes, we have. We have pushed briefly with a wick into it before creating the larger correction. And then, what levels of resistance should we see broken for a signal that this wave 5 would not be happening any longer? Well, I would like to see the 61.8% retracement broken. This sits at $1,550, and so far within this wave 4, we can notice we have gotten rejected around the 38.2% retracement, managing to form a few wicks above this level. I personally wouldn't prefer at this point to still be extending to lower prices within the wave 3, and I would only be looking to build here the ABC pattern within the wave 5, possibly as low as the 61.8% retracement. One last thing we didn't check yet would be the ideal target for the wave C, and that is the 100% extension of the wave A. This sits at $1,340. This has already been achieved, and again, we would still prefer to continue to lower prices. Even if the ideal target has been achieved, the count remains incomplete in my perspective, and I'm not opposed to looking for a bottom within the wave 4 to already be in place, but I would need to see a break above the last level of resistance for the internal wave 4 of the wave C, yeah, the $1,550 level. I need a sustained break above that to actually provide some evidence that indeed we aren't going to see even further extensions. In terms of the RSI, yeah, we can see strong divergences already in place, and for an internal ABC pattern within this wave 5, we can of course even add a count for this idea, And I would consider even the wave A to have a bottom in place. I wouldn't require any reset of this expectation. And we can even track internal resistance for a wave B in such a structure that would extend all the way up to the 78.6% retracement at $1,450. If we get a sustained break above that, the probabilities would be shifted in favor of at least a reset within this wave 4 in white, although I deem that unnecessary and I would prefer to just form this last extension to lower prices and be done with this correction. Now, we can even look for an ideal target for the wave C based on the current pricing, based on the current top within the wave B, and that would be the 100% extension, the $1,282 level. Although a reminder, we do not need to get there. We won't go into the even smaller time frame, but sure, we could consider here to already have an internal 1-2 setup that would allow a wave 3 within the wave C to already be ongoing. And for a recap, on this chart, we could be looking, of course, for positions even within this wave 4, especially as we are heading towards a quite full count, a quite complete structure. But below $1,250, we would need to be strongly prepared for an overall failure of this idea of an extension to higher prices. And I wouldn't be too trusting of the larger wave 5 to be ongoing unless we build here this internal wave 5 within this wave A. Yeah, if we actually fail to hold this last level of support, I would be extremely wary. I would require further evidence, an initial 5-wave move to the upside within a smaller time frame, and otherwise I would be prepared even for the yellow reset, as at this point there is no strong indication that the white structure is going to succeed. However, if we build this wave 5, we would have a very high probability trade setup within this A, B, C pattern, right? Because we would have the initial 5-wave move to the upside, we would be looking for the 3-wave correction into the area of support, and then at least another 5-wave move to the upside within the wave C. That would be a great opportunity, although that can be expected to take many years to materialize. And for now, these are the levels, this is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and if you enjoy our content and want to support us directly, check out our channel membership. And as a thank you for any of these actions, I would like to invite you to sign up to our channel newsletter, where you get access to our monthly top picks, where we identify for you high quality structures. Yeah, for example, if this chart manages to build this wave 5 within the wave A, it would provide us a high quality structure. It would provide us a good opportunity to look for positions in a wave B retracement. We are looking to buy at discounts. We are looking for great risk-reward ratios on this channel. We aren't looking to buy at breakout points when oftentimes the largest portion of the uptrend had already happened, where you would have no reliable support zone to track for invalidation. And anyway, you can sign up with the link in the description, and it is completely free. Other than that, let me know what else you would like to see, and I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.